mouse game is in dire need of some lightweight ergonomic mice. I mentioned this in my What to Expect from Gaming Mice in 2021, and thus far it's been more of the same, right? It's been pretty bare when it comes to ergonomic mice. Well, until now, because now we have the Ninjitsu Origin One X ergonomic wireless mouse, the lightest ergonomic wireless mouse to date outside of the original Pwnage Ultra Custom. All right, so first off, we got to talk about this box. It's super aesthetic, definitely one worth keeping or showing off somewhere in your room. Now inside the box, you'll find the receiver, an adapter, a USB-C charging cable, the mouse, and the receiver. Now the receiver adapter, I'm not sure if this is supposed to be like this, but I'm assuming it's not because the little shell kind of comes off of it. It looks like there's some glue in there inside. It doesn't affect the performance of the mouse in any way, but it's something that I think went wrong within production. They also give you an additional pair of PTFE feet in the box, which is always a welcome addition. Now the weight of the mouse is pretty impressive. It comes in at 64 grams and is really well balanced. The mouse feels super light, no pun intended. The mouse feet, the PTFE feet, are buttery smooth and they are thick. Very good job on those. All right, so I've been doing this for a while. As you guys know, I've reviewed countless mice at this point, and it's gotten to the point where if I put my hand on a mouse within a couple of seconds, I can tell certain things about it. Now, one of the things that I noticed when I placed my hand on this mouse was the coating. It feels similar to those old Zowie mice that after extended use would visibly show oils and you could feel it while you're using the mouse. And that's been the case with this mouse as well. Now, some people like this, especially if you have drier hands, because it can actually help with the grip of the mouse. But if you have naturally oily or sweaty hands, it could be an issue. This could actually be a deal breaker for some of you guys out there. But during my testing, it wasn't a deal breaker for me. It wasn't the worst thing, but I definitely did feel it. Now, the mouse has a DPI button on the bottom with increments of 400, 800, 1600, and 3200. If you hold the two side buttons for 3 seconds, you can shift the report rate from 125 Hertz to 500 or 1000 Hertz. It shares the same indicator as the DPI and shows red, purple, or blue when you switch it. Now, looking at the shape of the mouse, it's reminiscent of one of the goats of mice, the old Microsoft IntelliMouse. It has a super comfortable shape with a very aggressive ergonomic curve, placing your hand in a slight tilt. The Origin One X brings that same aggressive shape, but in a smaller package. I'd say this is a medium-sized mouse. And the one thing I noticed is that since this mouse is so curved, the little gap between my thumb and the mouse was huge. It didn't feel as comfortable as a less aggressive ergo shaped mouse like a Glorious Model D or Pwnage or a EC2B type shape. I actually prefer that EC2B shape over this because more of my hand surface makes contact with the mouse, making it feel more comfortable over extended use. Now, I do, however, love the low profile of this mouse though compared to the original IE. This will just give you greater control over the mouse compared to that big hunk of plastic that old IntelliMouse Explorer was. Now, as for the grip styles, I would only recommend this if you're doing like a palm or relaxed claw. Otherwise, for fingertip grip, I just go with something else because the shape is just so aggressive. It forces your hand into this curved position, and the grooves don't really match up well for fingertip placement, so it's just not the mouse for fingertip grip. If you're looking for a comfy grip mouse, you can't go wrong with this classic IE shape. The shape lends itself more to small-handed users, even though it's a medium-sized mouse, because you want a bigger mouse with this kind of aggressive shape. 17 centimeters or below with a width of 8 centimeters would suffice for this mouse if you're doing like a palm grip. For claw grip, you can go a little bit higher, like a 20 centimeters and maybe like a 9 centimeters, since it is a little bit slender. Now, the buttons are nice and crispy. They have those Kailh GM 8.0 switches, and they didn't disappoint in this mouse. The side buttons are a little hollow. The forward button is a little bit tougher than that back button, but so are most mice. The scroll wheel feels good as well. A little bit too much tactility on the scroll wheel. I'd probably dial it back slightly, but still, that's just me nitpicking. Let's drop a sound test so you guys can hear what this mouse sounds like. The sensor that they used is a 3335 sensor, and it has a high liftoff distance that we've seen in the past. It's something like a 3mm. If you pick up this mouse, or if you just pick up your mouse in general a lot when you're aiming, this could cause some issues for you when you're resetting your mouse to the middle of your mouse pad. Since it is plug and play, there is no real way to change it that I know of, so you're just kind of stuck with that 3mm liftoff distance. So if you're coming from like a 3360 and above, there's going to be a learning curve there. The battery life is rated at 44 hours, which is almost half what you would see in like a G Pro Superlight. So the battery life, I feel, is a little bit weak and a working point for this mouse. It does come with that paracord cable, but it's not that great when you have to use it. It's not as flexible as some other variants that we've seen in the past. So overall, you know, this mouse isn't perfect. It's not the perfect mouse, but it does bring and do some things really well. It brings another ergonomic shape to the market and not just another EC2B clone. They use the right switches in here with the KLGM 8.0 switches, which feel excellent. The PTFE feet are smooth. The price is right at $80. But because of that, they had to make some compromises on the sensor, which I'm not a huge fan of because it just doesn't work for everybody. The receiver casing falling off makes it feel a little less premium, and the shape might not be for everybody. That aggressive shape can really like kind of go from comfy to the opposite, you know, of what it's supposed to do, and it could cause some strain on that thumb. Overall, my experience with this mouse has been more positive than negative, though. Just a few quirks here and there that, you know, keep it from entering the top 5, but we got to keep in mind this is their first mouse, so I'm excited to see more from them, and this feedback only makes them better. If they can keep improving, the Ninjitsu name will be here for a while. Time will tell, though, guys. All right, it has been your boy BT. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Deuces.